Good morning. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. I hope you guys are well today. We're going to tap into the energy today and take a look at what we're being called to right now, today, this week. We're in the last couple of days of June and we're heading into July. And so let's see what Spirit is calling us to do right now. I hope you guys are well. If you would be so kind to like, share, comment, subscribe if you have not. If you feel led to do so, you are invited. Consider this your welcome. Um, Hit the bell if you find yourself subscribing here today so that you can be notified whenever I go live in the future. Um, Lots of things to take a look at on the channel. I dibble and dabble in lots of different things. For the most part, I do future focused readings, lots of discussions on topics that I feel like matters. And you might feel like they are important as well. Also, some learning tools on the page and storytelling, lots of storytelling, and some discussions, some live discussions with guests as well. And so take a look around if you're new. If not, welcome and happy Monday. I hope this is a start to a beautiful week for us. So let's see what we're being called to this week, okay? What are we being called to this week? Please and thank you, Spirit. We're asking to bring forth all information that will be helpful, uplifting, enlightening, useful for practical living and spiritual endowment. Okay, let's take a look. I hope you guys are well today. I really do. I'm sending out good energy, love, prosperity, just all good things, health, all of that. So let's see. Someone may not be feeling too well this morning. Well, I am sending you good energy, okay? What are we being called to right now as we delve into this week, Spirit? Ooh, okay. So we have sad news coming through. So someone may get some news that may not be, news that you would like to hear. Maybe we're being called to prepare ourselves for, matters that will bring in a level of change, prepare ourselves to receive this change that's coming in. Maybe things will not quite pan out the way that we had hoped. You might get a phone call that may bring in something unfortunate. Spirit might be allowing you an opportunity to prepare yourself. This may be a time to ground so that you would be able to withstand what's coming. Okay. So, whoever you are, you may receive a phone call here this week that may usher in some news that may not be the type of news that you would want to get. And this is an opportunity. Spirit wants you to prepare for this calling. Prepare by grounding yourself and getting balance in this moment here. Let's see. So we're going to take a look at how Spirit would want you to respond in this case to this news that's coming in that is not necessarily news that you would want. You're being called to prepare yourself to receive it, okay? And it is sad news for someone. Let me see here. This news may bring in a bit of grief. It may bring in some weeping. It may bring in feelings of loss. Let's see. So this is going to be something to prepare for because it may challenge you emotionally. It may, in fact, tempt you to enter into like a negative space. And it may be something that may not be able to be controlled. But Spirit is saying forewarned is forearmed. And so this is an opportunity to prepare for it, like to stabilize your emotional being right now, to get grounded. And this could have something to do, I don't know. Let me get a little more information. Let's see here. So what is the sad news coming in, Spirit? Give us more information on this. What is the sad news? whatever it is may attempt to cause you to be stressed out. What is the sad news? Okay, we have the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. And so, and then when we talk about sad news, it's all about perspective too, because sometimes what we consider to be sad can be something that may in fact be good for us, right? It could be a process that we need to go through that we may not want to go through. It may be having to accept some fact that we may not want to, and it places us in like a lower vibration because it's difficult to accept it. That could be it too. It doesn't necessarily mean like you're going to receive a call that someone, got hurt or like something like that. It could be just a kind of accepting the reality of what needs to happen or what is happening. So it's clarified by the Nine of Pentacles with the Ten of Swords. And so there may be the feel here of, having to accept some truth, some reality of, and when I think of the Nine of Pentacles, this gives me very independent energy, being self-sustained, right? It's not a bad energy. It's actually a very good energy. But there's something with the Ten of Swords. It's almost like being punished for having good energy or having this good fortune or just being in a good place, right? And so there's some unfortunate, this could be you realizing that those that you thought were in your corner is not, and that can be disheartening. That can hurt. That can cause some major damage if you're not prepared and grounded and really understanding who you are. But fortunately, the Nine of Pentacles says that for whoever this is, there is that understanding. You may, in fact, know very well who you are, and that may, in fact, be what's bringing in this Ten of Swords, right? And so there's some disappointment, some unfortunate information that will come in this week that's going to kind of set you in this place of sorrow. Doesn't mean it's going to stop you. It doesn't mean it's going to change your position of the Nine of Cups. It's just sometimes hard to accept, And so let's keep going. There is something that's coming in this week that's going to, it's going to be challenging. And so how Spirit wants you to respond to this spiritually. We have marriage coming out, which is interesting. Spirit wants you to respond to this. I don't know if you are married already. Maybe your spouse can provide a level of support. Whatever this betrayal is, there may be some need for additional support. And Spirit may be wanting you to go to your partner for that support instead of venting outwardly or going to other people that you may not really be able to trust. There's something about having a partner, when you're going through tough times, like you can share that weight, you can share the strain of tough times with your partner, and they can help you carry that. And so spiritually, there's the need to lean on, I feel like for whoever you are, Spirit is telling you to lean on your relationships, your solid relationships that are trustable, that are proven, and that are sworn, And so there's something about that, focusing on deep connections. And this is from the spiritual perspective. And so if you are married, this is going to your partner to lean on them spiritually to pull through this. There's something about, let me see, spiritually, about being yoked. And I guess I almost want to say that it doesn't necessarily have to be an intimate partner, because sometimes we're married to our work. Like you could have a partnership that kind of feels like, and you could have contracts, that kind of feels like a marriage. But this is spiritual, though. Let me get some more information. And so spiritually, what is meant by focusing on the marriage spiritual. Let's see what comes out, okay? What is meant by focusing on the marriage? Okay, Queen of Wands following the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, it's not really, it could be your spiritual bond as far as a marriage, but this feels almost like for someone who you're connected with. And it could be for like partnerships, not necessarily a intimate marriage, but a different type of bond with the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. This could have more to do with business or work, or even it could be even some type of connection that you have spiritually. With someone who offers some sustenance. With the Queen of Wands, definitely leadership energy, and someone who can inspire, provide options, provide different opportunities as well, and know-how, right? There's something being offered, or there may be something that's offered to you in regards to this situation. If you are connected with someone who operates in your life in that way, right? This could be an Aries. Queen of Wands is in Aries. It could be a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius. It could also be an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Someone is going to or may have operated in a capacity of offering some type of spiritual help or guidance in a very nurturing way. And so Spirit is asking you to be choosy with whom you trust. I feel like that message is coming through here. Make sure that you're getting advice and leadership energy from those who are trusted with marriage. This is almost like there is a contract here to take care of and provide for one another. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a marriage, but I feel like this is focusing more on this reciprocal responsibility here. There's a contract here with someone. There may be someone specific Spirit is asking you to confide in or to lean on spiritually. And when we say spiritually, we're talking about delving into your values, how you will handle things when it comes to your values. And this is almost like delving into the core of who you are and how you'll handle a situation. It's not just practicality, but this is delving into your very being so that you can sleep at night, right? So that you can expect good karma as you move forward, you know. Yeah. So let's see. Now, intellectually, expectation comes out. And so there may be something about mentally responding intellectually. This may cause you, whatever this is, may cause you to grow in how you think, in your how you respond to things. It may cause you to challenge your feelings, and it may challenge some relationships as well. Let me see. This also could be about communication too, and being able to communicate intellectually, right? This could have something to do with being able to express what it is that you expect in this situation, express your desires, your aspirations, your concerns, right? This may require you to not be quick to respond, but just to kind of sit back and chew on things before you respond, right? That's what's necessary when you respond intellectually, not just an emotional response, but allow yourself to kind of sit back and chew on it, deliberate on it, think about it, see it from different sides. Put yourself in other people's shoes and kind of breathe through it before responding. And then kind of align your response with the expectation of what you want to come out of this, right? That's part of this process too. Just really taking your time to consider what you expect to come out of this, even though it may be a difficult process or a difficult thing to receive and to accept, right? Your response needs to be around what it is that you expect to come out of this, or even what you expect for yourself as you move forward. There's a pause here intellectually. So, what is this intellectual response that you're asking of the viewer? Okay, the Eight of Wands is coming out, which is kind of opposite because the Eight of Wands is fast movement. And the Seven of Pentacles, which is slow movement. So be quick to hear and slow to respond. That's what's coming up for me. Be quick to listen and be open and receive and, kind of pull in the energy so that you can chew on it. But then take your time in pouring back out. Take your time in sowing, right? Energy back out intellectually. And so there's something here about just really not being rushed into a response or rushed into an outcome. But this process is actually one that we're moving through like sludge, because I feel like there's something that is, when we come to understand how things change through conflict or through difficult situations, this feels like it's going to be one. There's something to be learned through that, right? Sometimes it is, we're learning about how we think, our thought processes, or how we're communicating, what we're communicating. But through this process, as we're sludging through it, there's almost like something to be observed, something to be learned. And we're talking about intellectually observing how we're responding. Why are we responding that way? What's pouring out when we feel pain or when we feel hurt? What pours out when that happens, right? There's a beautiful poem or quote. Fragrance is, what was it? A fragrance is the, I can't think of it, but it's something along the lines of fragrance is the result, or the fragrance is what pours out when the rose is stepped upon, right? It's something like that, but it's more poetically phrased together. But the fragrance is what pours out when the rose is trampled upon or is stepped upon. And so there's something here about taking a look at the process, taking a look at the response, or what comes up, what rises up within us through this process this week. Spirit is intellectually wanting us to stop and just move slowly through this so that we can do like frames and analyze what's happening as we're going through this process, right? I get that here. So intellectually, that's how Spirit wants us to respond. Now, emotionally, again, we have the long way. Emotionally. And so we're looking at this emotionally. This is how we're being asked to respond emotionally. This can tell us about, how we're feeling. This is taking a look and examining the feelings that are arising and the relationship itself. Okay. So when we look at long way, again, it's that same energy, slowly moving, just kind of wandering in the realm of emotion. And in that moment, really appreciating the fact that we can feel, the fact that, these different parts of our aspected selves still work. We can feel, which is a beautiful thing. And there's an array of feelings that we get to experience. It's not just joy, which is beautiful. It's not just happiness, but there's also the other end of that spectrum as well. That's also beautiful, right? And so this is taking time to wander very slowly and appreciating the longevity of this moment. I feel like this could be, being that this says a long way, this could be something that has been worked on for a while. There's something about this moment that may connect to something that has been happening for a while. Because it feels like just a long, you ever have those days where it's just drawn out and it's like, is this day or a week, is it ever going to end? Like, why is it taking so long to get past this? Because there's a need to slow down and to take a look. There's something about this where there needs to be observation on the emotions, right? Something about the emotions, the feelings, the connections. And so there may be something that needs to be worked out. And it's not a quick fix, right? It's not a quick to do. It's something that needs to be worked out over time. It didn't happen, quick like that. It happened over time, and it needs to be undone, possibly over time, or observed so that it can be caught and addressed, right? And so there's something here about just having not a straight line of events, but it feels like many different twists and turns and unexpected events and different types of, weather and, just different things on the way. And emotionally, this could represent, being on this very tumultuous events. Nevertheless, it's for you to observe and take a look at how you're processing things. And essentially, it is designed to keep you moving forward at the end of the day. So, what is this long way when it comes to our emotion spirit? Long way when it comes to our emotions. And I'm hearing for someone, you may not even realize that you're going through this, which makes it even that much more profound, because spirit is wanting you to realize, yes, this is taking place. Even though you may try to avoid feeling or acknowledging that you are feeling, you are. There is some transactions that are happening on the inside. So what is the long way? That may be why this will be a process that's slowed down. Spirit really wants you to tap in. So we have the Eight of Swords and the Two of Wands, because where you're going next, the Two of Wands is all about decisions and making a choice. You're at a fork in the road. You're at a crossroads. Where you go next is very important. But before you go there, there's something that needs to be undone emotionally. The Eight of Swords is a bit of a limiting energy. It's an energy that can sometimes cause us to feel like we are imprisoned in some way. We're talking about the emotions, and we don't really have the ability to reach outside of that imprisonment, right? But this is all about undoing that. It's about releasing those limits, because there's something about choosing where you'll go next with the Two of Wands that's very important. It's very important. There's something very important about that. The Two of Wands is a very empowering card, and this could be about choices, about partnerships, about balance, duality. This is about relationships and crossroads, right? And so there's something very significant here happening emotionally. This week will provide an opportunity to see some very important things. So Spirit is saying, yeah, we're going to take this real slow, because I want you to see, I want you to pay attention to what this is. And as you move forward, you'll see why this was important. Physical response, this unexpected money. Very interesting. Now, the physical response is all about how we're being asked to respond physically to this unexpected news, whatever this is going to be. And this is in relation to what we can do or the actions that we can take here. And it's interesting that unexpected money will come out because this is like some type of, and this may have something to do with, choosing where you'll go next. There's something unexpected that's coming in that's faded. And this feels like it could have something to do with karma, like being rewarded in some type of way here physically. And so maybe this is also you stepping into this energy to help someone else out. Improvements, you helping to improve someone else or someone stepping in to help improvements for you. There's a sudden turnaround, right? That's being guided for you. And this is in the physical realm. Whatever this is, this bad news, in essence, is actually good news, right? Spirit is saying the process is going to be one where you'll need to work, but the reward is going to be equally as good, okay? There's going to be a bit of a surprise, a turn of events that'll happen. There's some type of gain on the other end of this when you come out on the other side. Let me see. That's very interesting. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, that's karma. The wheel turning in your favor. So be encouraged, whatever this is that's happening that feels difficult. And the moon, you don't see this coming. The Wheel of Fortune and the moon, you don't see this coming. So whatever this is, this difficulty that's going to challenge you spiritually, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, physically, and emotionally. And I'm missing one, intellectually, is going to be one that's going to usher you right where you want to be. You don't see this, and it's not going to feel like it when you receive whatever this is that's going to challenge you on every side, right? But it's actually bringing you to a better place. It's causing a turn of events, which is so beautiful. I always find that spirit moves in very interesting ways. And though we don't always understand why spirit will have us move a certain way, sometimes we are guided to be the fool, to be open, to follow. And I'm going to say with kind of like a childlike faith, to follow without really knowing or having all the answers, but trusting that we're being guided there. Especially when you receive the message over and over, it's like, okay, there's something there. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but Spirit is guiding me that way. And then to find that it's like, okay, what was that? Why would you even guide me this way only for this? Well, there's something more there, right? Something more than just getting straight to the punch. It is for the punch, but there's a process in order to get there. Spirit is saying, I need you to go this way, because along this route, you're going to get some essentials that you need along the way, right? Yeah, I'm still going to, provide at the end what I said, but it's what's going to get you there, right? It's the essentials along the way that you're going to pick up, right? It almost feels like that. And so whatever this difficulty or this sad news is, Spirit is just saying, process. Don't try to rush through it. Take your time. Observe yourself and how it's affecting you, and observe some of your patterns and habits through this. This is an opportunity, is what Spirit is saying, because it's almost like giving, and we all want, lots of money. Who doesn't want lots of money? Not for money itself, but just for the fact, it would be nice not to have to worry about money, right? And sometimes when we're given, we can be given like a lot of money. But if we have not learned how to manage money, it doesn't matter how much money we're given. We'll always, depending on our mindset around money, if it's a lack mindset, we'll find a way to navigate back right around to what we're used to, which is the lack mindset. And we can apply that not only with money, we can apply that with love. We can apply that with, success. Whatever that thing is that you're working towards or you hold very important in life right now. There's something about not just getting there, not just getting to the destination, but also learning what it's going to take to maintain that, right? There's some important lessons Spirit is saying that's being learned along the way as well. And so it feels like sad news coming in. This is going to be, something that will be difficult for someone, but it actually is good news. The sad news is actually good news in disguise. Okay. I'm going to get Oracle 7 energy and we're going to end it there. Okay. And I got 2 cards that came out. The first one was the Rose's Kiss, which has come out quite often lately. A little ladybug. You could be someone who loves ladybugs. I do too. I've loved ladybugs since I was a little girl. And then we also have opening to discovery. So there's someone's walking through a portal here. This week will provide an opportunity. You're being given a key to move through a door. A door is being unlocked through this process. That's why Spirit is slowing things down. It's like, you catching it? Pay attention. You need to catch these little, nuggets that are being dropped along your path, because these could be like lessons. These could be, patterns you're identifying. These could be breakthroughs. Like Spirit is like, pay attention. These little things are important, right? Who you confide in, who you go to, how you process information, how you respond, how you perceive yourself in difficult situations. And, all of that is important. And there's something very significant about this that you're going through right now. And so the Rose's Kiss is all about joy. One of my favorite words. It's all about experiencing the moment right now in your body. I feel like is what Spirit is saying. Be in your body, especially with that emotional part. Because I feel like for someone that escapes you, it's almost like you skip over that. You don't want to feel, you don't want to process, but Spirit is saying this is important. This is an opportunity for you to be conscious and allow yourself to feel. There's something about that, because to the extent that we are allowed to feel pain, there is that equal amount of joy that we're allowed to experience, right? It would just be a boring world if all we had was sunshine, right? And no rain to counter that. There's something about allowing yourself to experience the pain. And in turn, Spirit rewards us with that equal, if not more, amount of joy and pleasure and satisfaction, deep satisfaction and enjoyment. And so there's something about being in your body this week. Spirit wants you to experience, what does that feel like as you're going through these emotions and toiling with this, whatever this is? What does it feel like in your body? Spirit wants you to experience that, because when that joy comes around, when that unexpected event comes around and turn the table suddenly, Spirit is going to want you to feel that in your body too. What does that joy feel like? What does it feel like to feel like you just passed one of the most major tests that you've ever had in life, and you passed it with flying colors? And now you sit in the place where you've been trying to get for like the last 10 years. What does that feel like in your body? There's something about allowing yourself to feel. It's an end, I feel, an end of escaping yourself and denying yourself these simple pleasures of experiencing your senses. It's time to come back home to self, come back to our body. The other one is opening to discovery. This is all about these small pieces of information and things that we've collected throughout our experience in forms of ideas, right? In forms of visions, in forms of downloads, vital transfers of informations from the internet, from the, not the internet, it could be the internet, from the universe that has been speaking to us this whole time. Now is the time. Now, for someone, this is an opportunity to integrate that information and open up now to what it is that we need to expose ourselves to move through this new portal. For someone, this is the key. This process this week is the key that's going to unlock this new experience, this new level that is now going to allow you to integrate and experience those downloads in real life, in real time. Okay. That's what I'm getting. So I hope that made sense. I know sometimes I can go a little bit out there. I think I kept it really practical this time, but let me know if that resonates. This is what's coming in for today. Understand that this bad news is really good news in disguise. So don't take it to heart, but observe this process, right? As you move over to the reward at the end of this. It's almost like, just consider it like a test, okay? A test of your wills. So like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led to do so. Let me know if it resonates for you. It's always, always, always a pleasure. I take great pleasure in reading for you guys. And so thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you all. Blood Moon Oracle here with the encouragement of this week. Until next time, I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful week. I don't know if I'll be back this week. I just take it day by day and see if I'm being called to come and give a message. So if you see me, you see me. If you don't, you don't. I'll see you when I see you, okay? Have a wonderful week. Bye.